Hello, my YouTube friends, Sandra from ForYourChi.com, and this is your weekly tarot and oracle card reading for June 14th through the 21st of 2020. Happy summer solstice. I hope this is a happy one for you. The astrology forecast is difficult for the summer solstice, but as the cards are looking here, at least for the weekend, I see good energy, and especially if you heed the message in the oracle card message for this weekend. I have just a couple of announcements to make, and then I'm going to get into this channeled message that my guides want to give you about the happenings in our world today. We're going to get to the bottom of some things, and then we're going to look at the messages that came out in the cards for this week. All right, the first thing, I promised everyone that I would give them the astrology forecast for dates not to have surgery coming up for the rest of this year, and those dates to avoid. And there's a big chunk because we have Mars retrograde that happens every 2 years, and it always happens 2 months at a time. So Mars retrograde dates are September 9th through November 13th of 2020. Those are days that you're definitely going to want to avoid surgery if you possibly can. Now, obviously, if it's not elective surgery and it's emergency, you have to do what you have to do. The other dates to avoid are Mercury retrograde dates for a different reason. Mercury retrograde dates coming up are June 18th through July 12th. And that reminds me, I need to look up the next Mercury retrograde dates. Maybe I can do that right here after that, because I forgot we have at least one more Mercury retrograde date before the end of 2020. And I do want to give you those dates for the end of the year. Okay, so Mercury retrograde dates, June 18th to July 12th, but also October 14th to November 3rd. Dates to avoid surgery. Now, going back to the Mars retrograde date, September 9th through the 13th, the reason why you want to avoid surgery during those dates is because Mars rules surgery, and specifically steel. So, anything that could cut you, any surgery utensil, robotics. A lot of people are having surgery by robots now, especially, triple bypasses and stuff like that. So there could be a problem with utensils, robots, and machinery, anything that contains steel. Now, the reason that you don't want to have a surgery during Mercury retrograde is a different reason. That's because human mistakes and errors can happen. And that is when a surgery tech miscounts the sponges. I know, because one of my relatives had that happen under Mercury retrograde during surgery. And you definitely don't want to be part of any of that. Now, there is a sort of a magical window in astrology coming up this summer that's very good for surgery, but it's only a 1-week period. So those dates are July 22nd through 28th, and those are magical aspected dates for surgery. However, let me just say this. When I have surgery, or someone I love has surgery, I always do the numerology as well as the astrology. And the reason I do that is because you want the most favorable date possible. And I had someone say recently, well, I didn't have a choice. My surgery had to be on blah, blah, blah. And my question to them was, well, it wasn't emergency surgery, was it? So people think that they have to take the first day available that is offered to them. And that's just not true. Unless you have a situation where your insurance isn't going to cover it after a certain day because your coverage has ended or something, Otherwise, you can call the surgery scheduler and just tell them, look, that day doesn't work for me. I need a new date. And I know this because I've done it 15 times. Like, I switched surgery 7 or 8 times one time because it wasn't favorable to me. So I can't give you the numbers that favor you because it's going to be different for each one of you depending on your birth chart and numerology. There are 3 dates that rule your birthday, so it's kind of complicated. Okay, so that's out of the way. I just want to make one quick comment about the market. I thought it was very synchronistic that the week that I mentioned the market, you guys know that have watched me, I haven't mentioned it in many weeks now. I think it's been months. And yet we had a very negative downturn day in the market on Thursday where we lost 1,800 points and then gained only 400 back on Friday. So I feel like it was a message for me. It was a sign, and many other people, of what's to come in the months ahead. Okay, now here we get to the channel message. And please, I'm asking everyone to listen until I've finished the channeled message before you shut this video off if you don't want to hear the message in the cards, which I think everyone wants to hear that. And I've said this already in several private readings, so if you've already heard this, then feel free to disregard this part. Okay, so last Sunday, after I recorded last week's video, I was driving somewhere, and I get this message that says, you need to talk about the problem with the whole George Floyd thing right now, that it's more than just race. It is a battle of good and evil. You need to talk about that. I get this message as I'm driving. And I said, okay, got it. So I get to my destination, I pull over, I'm looking at Facebook for something unrelated, and all of a sudden, I see this article in my feed about the Archbishops Letter to Donald Trump talking about this exact same thing. And this is like all within a 10-minute period of time. And I said, okay, I got the message now. And the Archbishop goes into much more detail than what I'm going to get into here. He has his own beliefs and theory about that. And from what I can see, from what I read of the letter, most of it sounds true to me. You can look it up yourself if you'd like to. Now, let's talk about this. We're gonna get to the sort of nitty-gritty here. This battle of good and evil, right? This is not the first time that I have said things like this on this channel. If you have been with me throughout the years, 2017 is when I started it, you will remember I also said this right after the Las Vegas shooting happened. And what I said about it is no mass shooter can do the act of shooting people like that without this energy present. And what I meant by that energy present is a full-blown demonic possession. Those people are possessed by the most disgusting energy that you can imagine. Now, it does not present itself like the movie The Exorcist, 99.9% of the time, because it doesn't want to be singled out by that. It doesn't want recognition. It wants to be more subtle until the time where it strikes. The same energy that was present, we're going to call it garbage. Okay, I'm going to call it garbage energy because that's what it is. It's garbage. The same garbage that was present in the Las Vegas shooter was also present in the dirty cop that slayed poor Mr. George Floyd. So was it racially motivated? Absolutely. But that's only part of the story. You have to keep going. Because the bottom line is, if that dirty cop was not possessed, poor Mr. George Floyd would be alive right now. Now, the problem is that this garbage energy is present amongst all walks of life. And I've said this on this channel before too, and I've said this in my podcast. It's in politics. It's in police agencies. It's in all kinds of government. It's at hospitals. It's at your job. It's at your kid's school. I mean, you could go on and on and on. And it is not attracted to any particular race or religion or beliefs. It is attracted to a vibration. And that vibration is fear. And where is fear most prevalent? One place that I can think of is nightclubs that have lots of substances, not just alcohol, but drugs. Now, this is street drugs and it's prescription drugs, because I know someone personally that got possessed from prescription pills that were prescribed by a doctor legally. So until we clean up the garbage, we will not see any significant difference in our world. No matter how many protests go on, no matter how many riots we have, or how many people burn things down. Until we clean it up, clean up the garbage, that's when we will see a significant difference. And that's why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video to call it out, call it for what it is. Look, even if we abolish the racist thing in this country, on this planet, let's say we just took care of it. We wiped it out. No more racism tomorrow. This energy still would be present. So we still have a major problem because the shit would still go on. So the people that are out there protesting, that think that they're part of a movement, that they will enact a change that will stop police from killing African American people, it's not going to happen. Now, they may enact another kind of change that's prevalent in some areas, but it's not going to be the change that they're there to enact, that they're there to instill. It's not happening. Now, can we clean up the garbage? Can we have the cleanup on aisle 5? We can do it, on a smaller scale. I clean up individuals all the time. I can see this energy from a mile away. And I don't want anyone to go back and watch the video, but if you do watch the video, you can see it in the dirty cop's eyes. You can see the energy present, at least I can. There are various things that point to this garbage energy in that video. He remains still almost the entire time he's killing poor George Floyd. Amongst all the shouting and all the warnings that are happening, he doesn't move. The look in his eyes, number 2. The creepy hand in his pocket. Like this was no accident. This was intended by the garbage energy to unleash exactly what has been unleashed right now on this, I would say in this country, but it's more than just the country because people are protesting all over on this earth. That's what it's intended to do. That is their goal. And by the way, this same garbage was present in Hitler. Same thing. Same exact identical energy signature. Is there anything else that I need to talk about that? So the other reason I've received for giving you guys this message this week is because there are a lot of people that are confused. Like they hear that, they know that race is a problem. They're hearing it. They know it. But a lot of it doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't add up. Like, why are African American businesses being burnt down? And various things like that. So, and this is why it doesn't make sense, because you only got part of the story. You have to keep digging. You only got the headline. You didn't get the full article. And even if you did get the full article, it wasn't the truth, right? Because there's a lot of fake articles out there, or articles that are spun one way because there's an agenda. And that's the whole point of this video. There is an agenda. It's the garbage agenda. So don't drink the Kool-Aid, because there's a lot more that's going on than what you see on the surface. Now, how do we avoid the garbage? I say it like every other week, don't I? Protection, protection, protection. You have to protect yourself. I've done it every day since 2011, when I was warned to protect myself and my children and my property. And that's why I did the video a couple of years ago, so that you too can learn how to protect yourself. Although I focused the video on physical protection, like how to protect yourself from accidents and physical harm, it's also protecting you spiritually. And I do mention that briefly in the video. Now, you can run into this energy while you're protected and it causes a problem, but only under certain circumstances. And this is what I ended the protection video in. If you know that you're not supposed to go somewhere and you do it anyway, you could be physically harming yourself by not listening, because part of that protection is you will get the messages that you need to avoid the problem altogether. The other way is having fear, because like I said, this garbage is attracted to a vibration of fear. Many people who are on substances, especially drugs that make them paranoid, have subjected themselves to the garbage energy. The paranoia opens up a portal and attracts the garbage in. What else? We went through fear. There's one other thing that I was going to tell you about that. Maybe it'll come to me, hopefully. Anyway, protection. And the third way that people get themselves crossways with this garbage energy is they go for a relationship that they know they shouldn't. So a major way that this garbage transmits itself, and I've said this in my protection video, and I've said this on this channel before and my podcast, if you guys watch me, is sexual intercourse. Because there is an energetic exchange that takes place at the base chakra, and the only way that you can avoid that is to avoid intercourse, period. And that's how this is the garbage is passed, transmitted from one person to another. It's not the only way, but it's a big way. And if you know someone, or you think you've got some of that going on, call me and we'll do a clearing. I can clear them. It's no problem. It's just a matter of how long can they stay clear before they subject themselves to that kind of garbage again. And by the way, they're not protecting themselves every 12 hours like they should be, like the way that I teach in the video. And not everyone needs the video. If you already know how to protect yourself, then good. Make sure you do it every 12 hours and that you protect your loved ones same way, and your stuff and the place that you live. It's very important. Very, very important. More important now than it was last year. More important than it was the year before. It seems like the longer we go on, the more and more important the protection is becoming. Clearing yourself, getting yourself cleared by a trusted practitioner. There aren't too many people that I know that do this type of clearing. Many people won't even touch it with a 10-foot pole, but I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm here. It's not just to do readings, it's also to do energy work and energy clearing and energy healing in that way. And for someone, this message is for someone out there. If you have a loved one who is acting out of their usual character, in other words, they're acting very strange, that is a indication that they need to be cleared. Okay, they're not acting themselves. It's because there's something else that's acting for them, and it's a problem, and it needs to be removed. Okay, so I think I've said my truth and everything that you guys need to know to clear that up and to clear up any confusion. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will address those about this message. Now, the message for Monday, Tuesday is fertility. Sure, this could be a message of conceiving or birth, but typically this is the manifestation card, and I do see manifestation happening. And what's really kind of funny about this is it's the opposite. Like, you're really manifesting things Monday and Tuesday, and you're in a good place, and you're receiving signs from the universe. It's important to only speak what you want to happen and not what you want to happen. Do not talk about your fears on Monday or Tuesday, because the universe is listening according to this card. The universe's ground is fertile and ripe to receive everything that you're planning energy-wise. So pay attention. And we went right to the mermaid deck because I did see this manifestation, and mermaids are responsible for manifestation as far as the messages go. Synchronicity. So you're thinking about something and it's happening. And I just love how these go together. These two are just in perfect harmony. You think about something, bam, it happens. You talk about something, the universe responds, and you're like, this is cool. I can do this. Look, as much energetic crapola that's going on with the planets right now, there really is a lot of power, and you're manifesting things quicker than ever. It does not take a lot of energy to manifest things nowadays, and I'm noticing this too. All it takes is a shift in focus, a shift in focus, a shift in focus, and just keep shifting as much as possible, and you will start to see the changes very, very rapidly. It's not as difficult as it used to be. And so the message for Wednesday, Thursday is sacral chakra, desire, which is the opposite of the manifesting card, because sacral chakra actually pushes away what we want. Don't push it away. You're saying, yeah, but you don't have this and you don't have that, and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you really, really want this. No, go back to the being grateful for what you have. The more gratitude that you have and the more gratitude that you extend, the more you're receiving the answers to your prayers. And the oracle message goes right along with this sacral chakra card. Stay optimistic. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Hang in there. Hang in there. Have faith. Where's your faith? You guys were killing it Monday and Tuesday. Don't lose it Wednesday and Thursday. And the card for this weekend, money, money, money. If you're not getting money this weekend, you're getting news of money, or someone else is getting news of money that's going to assist you in getting what you want and what you need. This is amazing. This is a great card for the weekend. And also, your guides are telling you to pay attention to the repetitious thoughts that are occurring. Now, this may actually happen before you see the tangible results here. And what's cool about this message is you may get this message from your guides that says, wait, stop, you need to call someone and ask them a question. And all of a sudden they're just like, and I'm giving you an example, they're just like, yeah, I just got this crazy windfall, and I'm going to send you a check for $5,000 or something like that, right? Or for my friends that love to play the lottery, you'll get this hit. Your guides will say, hey, stop at this convenience store and get a certain scratch off. And they get the scratch off, and all of a sudden they win $5,000 or more. All right, so that's it for this week. Sorry for the long video. It was like the longest weekly video ever, I think, 25 minutes. But that's the way it is. Nothing I can do about it. Many blessings to you. Please like and share and subscribe to this channel. I believe that everyone needs to hear this message this week. So if you would please share with your friends and ask them to share this video too, I would greatly appreciate it. I think that this question, a lot of people have a lot of questions in their minds right now about all of this and everything that's happening, and I think that this is going to clear up a lot of confusion that people have. Many blessings to all of you. Have a great week.